Hi everyone, it's Donna, and I wanted to give you a quick tutorial on just our basic foundation and makeup application. Now what I did 5 minutes ago, because you do need to leave your primer on for 5 minutes, is I've already put our Glorious Primer all over my entire face and let it set for 5 minutes. Our primer is very, very easy to use. A little goes a long way. I simply put a small amount on my finger, and you apply it just like you apply moisturizer or cleanser. You just simply apply it over your face. You'll see here that it's a very, very clear substance. It's not very thick, and you don't want to apply it very thick. I'm just going to put it on my neck since I've already put it all over my face. And just to show you that it's very, very easy. It's not greasy. It soaks in. You want a nice thin layer. And as I've said in earlier videos, that the primer is really going to set your foundation to go on flawlessly and smooth. What the primer is going to do is, number one, it's going to make your makeup waterproof, which is fantastic, make it last longer during the day, and it's also going to fill in those fine lines and wrinkles that we have so that the makeup doesn't fill in those fine lines and wrinkles. So if you have any dry spots or oilier spots than others, it's going to give your face that nice even consistency that it needs. So after you've waited 5 minutes with your primer, then you're going to want to put on your makeup. Now we have 4 different types of foundations. We have just a pressed powder for those that just want that, you know, just a little touch up, blot the oil, very natural look. We have our BB Flawless, which is really just a tinted moisturizer, another very natural look. We have our cream powder foundation for those that like that creamier matte coverage, and then we have our liquid foundation, which goes on like a liquid but dries to a nice thin sheer but with full coverage powder. Now in a couple of days we're going to have our loose powder foundation available, and that is going to be for those people that really like that mineral loose makeup. Now when you first apply, if you're applying the liquid gold, the Mineral Touch liquid gold makeup, you do want to shake the bottle because it is full of minerals and antioxidants and extracts from marine algae, and you want to just kind of mix all of that up so that you get a nice consistency on that first dropper. Now you can apply it with a blending bud, a makeup sponge. Make sure you kind of wet your sponge, make it just a little bit damp if you're using a sponge. I like to use our liquid foundation brush. It's specially formulated for our liquid foundation. You can see that it has a little hole in the center, and that's where the makeup goes. So we have a dropper of our makeup, so you just kind of drop the makeup right there in the hole. As you can see, and then you don't really have to use your hands at all to apply it. I like to just kind of dot it so that I can make sure I've got it everywhere that I want the coverage before blending it. You can see just 2 droppers full is really going to cover my entire face. So then I like to use my brush to go ahead and blend it out, make it nice and even. So it is a liquid. You get to work with it, move it around, but there's just in just a few minutes it's going to dry to a wonderful powder so that it doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel like it's just going to sweat off. It's wonderful. Now let me tell you a little bit about the science behind this foundation. This foundation has texturizing agents in it. And what that's going to do, these texturizing agents, it's actually going to make your skin feel flawless. It's going to you know, make it not look dull, make it not look flat. It's going to refinish and kind of refine those fine lines and wrinkles. The other thing it has in it is like, it's called pigment time release, so that the actual makeup is going to, it's kind of like a time release, so that your makeup coverage will stay consistent throughout the day. So it releases pigments on a time release basis. The other thing it has, which I love this, is optical diffusers. And what that means, it's going to blur the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles and skin imperfections so that you don't see it. And then finally, we have a copyrighted mineral extract called Juvenescence. And what it is, it's going to give that skin firmer, more youthful appearance. And it's made from a marine-based algae extract. So this is really, really awesome about our makeup. So at $39, it's going to do all of those things for you. It's good for your skin. It's not going to feel heavy. It's going to give you full coverage. And if you're one of those people that is really worried about what is in the makeup though, Donna, well then I'm going to tell you right now, there is no gluten, there is no soy, there is no parabens or latex or BPA or PABA, and it's just going to give you, none of those bad toxins are going to enter your bloodstream, because it does only take 26 seconds for the makeup that has those toxins in it to enter your bloodstream. You don't have to worry about that with ours. So that's the first thing that I'm going to do, is put on my foundation. The next thing is going to be our Skin Perfecting Concealer, which I love. This is so highly pigmented that you are just going to love it. Now, depending on the look that you want, if you go for a very natural look, then you're going to want to use your highlighter or your concealer one shade lighter. So whenever you do our foundation matching quiz and then you see what your color is, you'll want to go one shade lighter if you want that just natural under eye look. If you want a more dramatic, and that's what I do, I like the whites of my eyes up to my cheeks to be really whiter than everything else, then you're going to go 2 shades lighter. So for me, 2 shades lighter means that I'm going to be using Scarlet. If I wanted a more natural look, or just to cover like a pimple that's way up here, or some imperfection somewhere else right then under my eyes, then I would actually use the actual color of my foundation, or even 1 shade lighter cover with foundation. All right, so what's exciting about our Touch Mineral concealer? Well, number one is the price. It's only $29, and this is actually going to last you about a year, so that is a great investment. The other thing about it is that it's high concentration of pigment, and because of that, it's able to cover things like birthmarks and tattoos and scars and acne scars and things like that, so that's fantastic. The other thing is we have microsphere technology, and that's going to provide that silky texture that we love and actually diminish fine lines and wrinkles that are around your eyes. So we want that. All of our products are going to really help make our appearance look younger, more vibrant, and this one does that as well. And it also has some moisturizers in it. Everything that, all the ingredients that make up vegetable lanolin are going to be in it, and that's like shea butter and rosinate and all of the olive extracts that really are going to help moisturize that very, very delicate under our skin, under our eyes, which is we want. But the other thing you want to know is we also, this is not formulated with talc. We do not have fragrance in it, formaldehyde, sulfates or parabens or any of those toxins in it as well. And the coverage is really, really good. Now, I want to warn you that a little goes a long way. Now, the way that I like to highlight under my eyes is to actually make like an inverted triangle. Now, you really, really notice I'm not even hardly letting the product come out, because a little of this goes a long way. So I like to make like a little triangle under my eyes, and then I want you to just tap it in, not pull, just tap. I want to go under the eye, kind of up the bridge of the nose a little bit, and then all the way out, right on the cheekbone, all the way to the hairline. So you can see a little went a very, very long way. Now it's going to look like, oh wow, Donna, that's way too much product, but it really isn't. Watch. Once we pat it in, and then I like to use my blending bud. Let me get it. To just get any of the moisture out, and then pack the rest of the product in, so that it really stays. Now once we apply our contours, our highlight, our blush, and a little bit more foundation like around the nose, this is going to be fine. But that's why this product lasts a year, because you really don't need much of it in order to cover, as you can see. It's the high pigment in it really makes it cover, and you can see that it would cover any type of blemish or birthmark or rosacea or even tattoos, like for a day, if you don't want your tattoo for a day, or you have a job interview or something like that. Notice I like to go all the way into the corner. I like to go up the bridge of the nose, and then I like to take my bud, and notice the difference with the blending bud. It really does gets any of that extra moisture out of the concealer, and it will give you that bright-eyed look for the entire day. Now, for some people, if you just want to do concealer and foundation for the whole day, a little lip gloss and go, you can see that that's a great look. You may not want to go 2 shades lighter with your eyes if you're going to go for that natural look and not do the blush and the rest of the routine that I'm going to do. You may want to go just with 1 shade lighter under your eyes, or even the same color as your foundation, and you can see that it's just going to give you that nice flawless complexion for the rest of the day. So that is my tutorial on the Flawless 4, which is our primer. You must have primer in order to make that makeup sit so nicely. Your concealer, your foundation, and the best way to put our foundation on is with our foundation brush. So that whole set, if you are interested in the Flawless 4, is $139. So thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.